He'd lived a long life, well, longer than most people in his time. It was not a pleasant life, though. He had survived bone-crushing blows and deadly attacks. Here is the account of his tales. On July 28, 1996, one of the most complete and oldest human skeletons found in the Americas was uncovered by Will Thomas and Dave Deasy. These two young college students were sneaking past a ticket booth to get into a hydroplane race near Kennewick, Washington. While waiting to Columbia, they made the astounding discovery.
Yeah, we've got two boys here. We found a skull in the river. We got a problem.
After this discovery, a police boat took Will and Dave back to the crime scene. The guys and police searched the water and discovered more bones. Dave saw the stick he had tossed in earlier. It was a thigh bone. After looking at the skull, the coroner knew it was unusual. He called in James Chatters, a local anthropologist. James and his associates searched the water with high-powered flashlights into the night and found the rest of a human body, which was taken to James's downstairs crime lab.
Looks European, or even African. If it was Native American, the jaw would be much wider, and the nose would have stuck out less. What's this? It looks like stone embedded in the hip, and then the bone grew back over it. If I use acid to melt the bone, I should be able to tell for sure what that is.
Aha! Those are chisel marks. This must be a lance point, an ancient one at that. James Chatters took the skeleton to Catherine McMillan to confirm the race. She was sure the bones were male Caucasian until she saw the arrowhead in the pelvis, which looked distinctly Native American. Who is the Kennewick Man? Next, to find the age. If I want accurate results, I'm going to have to destroy a piece of bone. The tribes are going to hate that. James Chatters decided that the least offensive bone to destroy would be the tip of a finger. After he took the bone to a carbon dating lab, which can tell the age of a bone by measuring amounts of a substance in organics that decays over time, he received a phone call. James Chatters.
James, this is the lab. We got your date.
How'd it come out?
Are you sitting down?
After the word got out about the remains being 9,300 years old, the Kennewick Man was turned over to the Army Corps of Engineers, who would care for the bones until a proper owner was reached. 5 tribes filed requests to the NAGPRA, a government act that allows bones that are linked to a Native American tribe to be returned to them for a proper burial.
Think of all we can learn from this skeleton. Once the bones are buried, they'll just decay until there's nothing left. We don't need any more history than we already know. How would you feel if your relatives were locked up in glass cases all day? These bones are too old to be linked to any modern tribe. Besides, all the characteristics point to Caucasian. What about the arrowhead and the Kennewick Man's pelvis? That's clearly Native American.
After 8 years of heated debates and inconclusive evidence, courts decided that the bones were too old to be linked to any modern tribe. Native Americans were greatly disappointed and angered about NAGPRA's inability to protect tribal remains. What this tells us is that the Kennewick Man was here before Native American history begins. This means that either Native American history expands further than we think, or that a different people were in the Americas before them. The bones were only handled once every 6 months for a checkup to make sure nothing had changed. They are stored in custom wooden cases with constant humidity and temperature in the Burke Museum, where they remain today.